Today we will count down from 6 to 1, describing and explaining each question. Okay, let's start with number 6. Fill in the blank of the following statement. Blank encryption is a method of encryption involving one key for both encryption and decryption. So this is a really good question. To answer this, you just need to know exactly what symmetric encryption is. So if you knew that symmetric encryption means to encrypt with the same key or code to encrypt or decrypt, that means you're going to get the correct answer, symmetric encryption. Okay, great question. Moving on to number 5. A coffee shop is considering accepting orders and payments through their phone app and decided to use public key encryption to encrypt their customers' credit card information. Is this a secure form of payment? Another really good question. So the answer to this is yes. Public key encryption is built upon computationally hard problems that even powerful computers can't solve easily or quickly because it's an asymmetric encryption. Okay, number 4. Which of the following statements best describes the properties of double key encryption? A. Public key encryption is an encryption method which relies on separate keys for encrypting and decrypting information. B. Public key encryption is a highly secure encryption scheme in which a single shared key is used for both sender and receiver. C. Public key encryption makes use of certain types of problems which are easier for humans to solve than computers. Or D. Public key encryption makes use of mathematical problems which no algorithm can solve. So this is a great question, and it also links with the previous questions. So since you know that public key encryption is asymmetric encryption, you can easily answer A. Okay, down to the top 3 territory now. Choose the answer that is not a feature of public key cryptography. A. A key for decrypting is never made public. B. Using public key guarantees that one of the intended recipients can decrypt the message. C. Public key databases ensure third-party accountability for security. Or D. Allows communication without establishing a shared encryption key ahead of time. So this is a really tricky question, especially coming after the previous 2 questions, because you can easily get tripped up with A and D because they kind of relate back to the previous questions, but they're not exactly the same. So if you could spot that, you can easily cross those out. But even after you do this, C and B, you have to still decide between those 2. And I did that by knowing that B, it says using public key guarantees. It's never actually a guarantee. It could actually be broken. Okay, number 2. A programmer is writing a system that is intended to be able to store large amounts of personal data. As the programmer develops the data system, which of the following is least likely to impact the programmer's choices in designing the structure of the system? A. Maintaining privacy of the information stored in the dataset. B. The scalability of the system. C. Structuring the metadata of the information for analysis. Or D. The frequency of a particular item occurring in a dataset. Okay, to answer this one, I went through the answers and tried to find the weakest choice that applies to the question's circumstances. So once I went through all the choices, I kind of noticed that D was really obviously wrong, just because it's kind of just a fun fact and it really doesn't apply to the structure. Okay, finally, number 1. Which of the following are true statements about digital certificates in web browsers? 1. Digital certificates are used to verify ownership of encrypted keys used in secured communication. Or 2. Digital certificates are used to verify the connection to a website is fault tolerant. This is an extremely important question to know and answer because this applies to your daily life. To answer this, you need to know the definition of digital certificates and kind of how they're used. Okay, so they're electronic credentials that ascertains the identity of the individual. They verify the identity of the individual entering the system and signing the documents. Once you know this, it's kind of obvious that number 1 is true and not number 2. So, this is ESPN's top 6 tech questions of the day, and this is Teddy Wilson signing off for now. Have a great day.